The air is heavy with the scent of cordite and wet concrete. You're not just in a room, you're in a kill box. The sound of heavy, ragged breathing fills the silence until a single match strikes. The flame illuminates a bruised, bloodied face, the face of a man who has seen the end and decided he wasn't finished. Rapid footsteps on gravel, a muffled thud, and the metallic click of a 1911 slide locking back. 30 men, one hallway. Every shadow is an enemy. Every corner is a gamble. Your heart rate is 160 beats per minute, but your hands are ice. The door splinters. One breath, 2 rounds to the chest, 1 to the head. You aren't fighting them. You are managing the space. You don't see furniture, you see cover. You don't see people, you see vectors of threat. By the time the last shell casing hits the floor, the room is yours. Not because you were stronger, but because you owned the environment before you even stepped inside. Most of you walk into a room like a guest in your own life. You take the seat that's left over. You look at your phone to avoid eye contact. You let the energy of the space dictate your mood. You are the prey. You are the chaos. You are the noise in the room that no one hears. Why? Because you lack atmospheric authority. You've never been taught how to weaponize a space. Today, we change that. We are going into the mind of the Baba Yaga to learn how to control any room you walk into. To understand how to control a room, we have to go back to the basement in Jersey. 2014, a man loses everything: his wife, his hope, his peace. John Wick didn't start as a god, he started as a man who chose a ritual to survive the silence. In Miyamoto Musashi's The Book of Five Rings, he writes, "Under the sword lifted high, there is hell making you tremble, but go ahead, and you have the land of bliss." Wick's land of bliss is the absolute elimination of variables. When he digs up that concrete floor to retrieve his cases, he isn't just grabbing guns, he is reclaiming his internal architecture. If your physical environment is cluttered, your psychological defense is zero. Wick's home is minimalist because you cannot be ambushed by what you can see. He controls the room by removing the distractions of the monkey mind feeds him. Let's look at the statistics. In the red circle sequence, Wick neutralizes 28 targets. The average engagement time is staggering 1.4 seconds. He uses a concept called the OODA loop: observe, orient, decide, act. He never sits with his back to the door. He maps the exits. He knows the difference between cover, which stops bullets, and concealment, which just hides you. In Robert Greene's The 48 Laws of Power, Law 28 says, enter action with boldness. If you walk into a boardroom or a party with hesitation, you've already lost the geometry of the room. Wick doesn't peek around corners. He slices the pie, taking the angle before the enemy even knows he's there. I once saw him kill 3 men in a bar with a pencil. This isn't just a legendary story, it's a lesson in environmental utility. Most people see a room and see things: a chair, a glass, a pen. Wick sees possibilities. In James Clear's Atomic Habits, he explains that you don't rise to the level of your goals, you fall to the level of your systems. Wick's system is that everything is a tool. A table is a barrier. A light switch is a blinding mechanism. A belt is a ligature. The humiliation of being unarmed is a choice. You are never unarmed if you have a mind that can categorize the mundane as lethal. Please subscribe to this channel and like this video right now. We are building a continental of our own here, a place for those who value focus, commitment, and sheer will. Slide and visit my page to see the full breakdown. Control isn't about talking, it's about the economy of presence. Watch Wick in the Continental. He speaks in fragments. Management? Just a dream. Be seeing. In Marcus Aurelius's Meditations, he notes, very little is needed to make a happy life. It is all within yourself. Wick's power comes from what he doesn't say. By remaining silent, He forces the other person to fill the vacuum. They get nervous. They reveal their hand. They lose control of the room because they can't control their own tongue. When you enter a room, don't rush to speak. Let your stillness be the most dominant force in the space. Even the Baba Yaga bleeds. The stairs in Paris, 222 steps. He fights to the top, only to be kicked back down to the very bottom. You feel the thud of his body against the stone. This is the identity peak. You can control the room, but you cannot always control the world. The world will try to break your rhythm with rules and debt. But Wick gets up. He fell for 45 seconds. He stood up in 3. That is the ratio of a master. The universal life lesson isn't about violence. It's about the one habit of finding a purpose so singular that it silences the noise of the world. John Wick found peace not in the kill, but in the release. The room doesn't own you. You own the room. Be seeing you. Follow idea_man for more cinematic deep dives. Please subscribe this channel